You really are famous.
And for good reason, as you'll soon see for yourself.
Quite an interesting contraption you've got here.
Is that our petitioner? Let's go and have a chat.
I'll handle this.
What just happened there?
Is that all?
Really?
Come on, let's pick up the creature's trail. These claw marks, I've seen their like before. It's starting to feel like a proper hunt.
Feathers. But did they belong to the predator or the prey?
So, how do you prefer our prey? Roasted or raw?
You presume it's even safe to eat? Still fresh. Whatever this beast, it cannot be far.
Do you suppose that insect would smell their hunger? Who knows? If they're spoiling for a fight, then they've got one.
Let's head back and report what we found.
Powerful wings and razor-sharp talons. Worthy prey.
Oh, really?
Ah! What is that thing?
What is that thing? What is that thing?
It speaks?
It's heading towards...
I'll stay with...
Come, what...
Right. Just so we're clear, I wasn't startled by the beast.
Forgive me, but I've...
I'm getting hungry. Let's be done with...
Caught me by surprise.
Think you're clever, huh? Talk all you like, bird. I'm going to have the last laugh. Oh, I'm going to enjoy sinking my teeth into you. Shut up already, you nasty bird!
Such an enormous collar.
Not good. Quickly, gather together. I've got you.
That was too close.
Steady now. You.
I'm not let this guy die. I just want to find the hell out of it.
That was hardly a tickle. Try this. Nothing to it. Have you now, you loudmouth bastard!
Throw everything you have at it.
And I had barely limbered up.
It was a terrible foe, but no match for your axe.
Only to be... You were pretty impressive yourself. But what a curious bird that was. Though we have similar in Tural, they don't grow so big or use such dirty tricks.
Dirty tricks? Dirty tricks?
Aye, dirty and
Leave this to me!
Cryo!
She arrived at...
So this is what you meant by seeing to preparations?
After hearing of the contest, I thought... In coming here, I wanted to demonstrate my skill at arms to Wuklamut. Alas.
That was
I'm glad
May I ask what
you will recall the time you descended to the ethereal sea in search of Heidelin. Recognizing that my skills were inadequate, I chose to provide support from afar, rather than join. It was the same when you set forth for Ultima Thule. How it pained me to stay behind again, and that's what inspired this change. Ever since the final days were averted, I've used every spare moment to hope. As you all have adapted your methods to suit the circumstances, I started by... And after much deliberation... With the esoteric art passed down by the legendary Archon realm, Pictomancy. As I recall, you have embraced versatility to effectively complement... What I do is much the same, like you.
I must say...
Yes, there is. It was addressed to my grandfather Galuf. The ink was faded, so I couldn't fully make out the sender's name.
Jaja. Gulul Jaja. That's my father, the Dawn servant. What does the letter say?
While much of it isn't legible, it appears...
A request to investigate the Golden City?
Well, well. Seems it may be more than a rumor after all.
Being a member of the royal family, it was my hope that you could confirm the authenticity of this letter.
I can say for a fact that my father didn't write this. Given how culturally diverse Toliyolal is, it was decided some time ago that, but instead of elevating an existing tongue and its speakers above all others, we look to those widely spoken overseas. The similarities to your common tongue also make it quite easy to communicate. This letter, however, is entirely in Eorzean. If Father had written this, it would have been in Turali. And what's more, it bears a wax seal. We don't bother.
So the letter.
Oh, I didn't mean to say that. My father's signature is genuine, as far as I can tell, so perhaps he simply dictated it.
I see. Oh, thank you for the confirmation. I can't help but be curious as to what exactly. In order to help us decide on a course of action, would you mind if I...
By all means. After all, learning about one another was the purpose of this. We can talk while feasting on this fellow. I, for one, am...
We're eating that.
Shall we? Yeah.
Come. I'd heard that Charlotte...
What is this?
Oh, come now. Since when did you become...
According to Dickon, intensely hot dishes have become popular in Razadhan after a traveller ordered a curry with several times the usual amount of spice. So he started offering the same in order to please the growing Harnish population.
Your boorish manners reflect poorly on the both of us. I wish you would consider your station.
I swear, sometimes it feels like you open your...
Would I be correct in assuming you've known each other for a long time?
Aye, thick as thieves.
I beg to differ. She is a long-standing acquaintance. Nothing.
I see.
All this time you were from Tural. Oh, would that I had known sooner.
You and everyone else. I've kept it quiet so as to avoid the endless interrogation.
Well, if he's going to be a miser, I'll be happy to tell you about our... Since ancient times, many peoples have called Tural home, and they've been fighting. The fighting finally stopped some 80 years ago, when the reigning Dawn Servant unified the disparate communities and founded a new nation.
And that's how Tuliolal came to be.
Since then, But my father is getting old, and he wishes to relinquish the throne to a worthy successor. Including myself, there are 4 claimants to the throne. But while we all have the right to
A man who is too... Word of the Garlean Empire's collapse has reached, while most are simply relieved. He sees weakness to exploit, and would lead our armies across the seas on a campaign of...
After everything my father has done to give us peace, he would drag us back into war. I can't allow... No matter what, I must win this contest.
I understand your reasons, but this being an event that will dictate the course of your nation's future, is it
Oh, it's more than appropriate. The Dawn Servant himself expressly encourages it. The ruler of Tural must navigate the intricacies of myriad cultures, and there's no better way to prove oneself qualified to do so than to work with foreign. That's why I sought you out. Through our hunt, I've confirmed that you're a warrior of... And so I ask you, will you lend me your strength and help me win this? You don't need to decide right this moment. But I will need you if I'm to triumph over the competition. Else...
In that case, allow us to...
That's very... Oh, and one more thing. Once we finish eating, would you mind if I took the rest of the meat?
The usual mutton
Oh, sorry.
Oh, it's just... Despite all that we've learned, I can't help but feel we've... What about you, my friend? Are you inclined to accept or refuse what...
Yep, never say no to a new adventure. Let's go.
Ha! I thought you might say... With an intrepid attitude such... Be it the contest or something else, there will be many trials. But in the course of seeing new lands and meeting new people, such a journey would be the envy of many a scholar. Distant as it is, Tural remains largely unknown to us, with only meager records to be found in Numenor. The experiences to be had, all the things you might hear, feel, and life is a series of journeys, my friend. And there's no telling what awaits us on the long road. But what's important is to be true to yourself. Only then can we hope to be content when we arrive at the end of one. Ah, but there's an idea. I have a matter to attend to at the Agora. Please.
Everybody wants to join the party. Haha. Let's go.
You have the look of someone who's made up their mind. Go on then. Let's hear it. Excellent. You'll be compensated for your troubles, of course. But I dare say your time in Tural will be its own reward.
You're not planning to leave without us, are you?
Alphano, Alize! What are you two doing?
We happened to cross paths at Numenon earlier, you see, and I told them about Wooklamat. And when we fortuitously met again at the Agora just now, they expressed an interest in meeting our visitor.
Ah, you must be the twins who are sneaking after Erenville as toads.
100 things about us you could have told her, and you
First impressions last.
'Tis an honor and a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Your Highness. Alphano Leveilleur.
Oh no, let's not do that. I really... So, you want to participate in...
Indeed we do. We've been assisting with the rebuilding effort in Garlemald. Yet while progress is being made, the question remains of how the nation might reckon... We believe there is much we might learn from Tuliolal, a nation founded on unity. And in return for this honor, we would spare no effort in supporting your claim.
The more the merrier, I say. And I'd be keen to learn about Eorzea and Garlemald.
Having recruited so many committed and capable allies, I presume you have no...
Nonsense! They're strong, aye, but strangers to our land. They need someone to guide them, to point out the dangers, and spare them grisly deaths.
Grizzly dead?
I can't think of anyone better suited to that task than you. What's more, despite your assertions, I know you haven't given up on the City of Gold.
As I recall, Kryl, you were the first to state your desire to visit Tural.
Perhaps I was. Still, I can't help but worry about being away just when our order is beginning to find its feet again.
You have nothing to worry about. I haven't forgotten how you held the fort while I set off to explore Alzadal's legacy. It's only fair that I return the favor. Pray, leave the students to Ojika and me.
But, Raha...
You want to retrace your grandfather's steps, don't you? This is a rare opportunity.
Thank you, Raha.
Well, looks like it's settled.
I suppose now is a good time to show you what I spent a small fortune on at the Agora. There. This, my friends, is the latest map of the world, created to set the site of your next great adventure, Tural.
When does the next ship set sail?
Ooh, estimate. Okay.
May I ask your destination?
The north and east. I've already... I suppose I'll head west.
West, you say?
Looks like the whole gang is getting together, man. Nice.
I see you've made up your mind. I had a feeling you'd be keen.
But to think that our comrades too are thither bound. Fate doth work in mysterious...
Indeed. It will be a grueling task, having to contend with them.
If the prospect doth trouble thee, 'tis not too late to decline the petition. Though thine expression would suggest thou art far from perturbed.
Oh, how could I possibly be, knowing what's to come?
Then let us delay no further and secure passage on a vessel.
Aye. This will be a mission to remember. Come, my friend. We make for Taral.
Tell me, have you been to the ruins beneath the waters of the Bounty? Or the treasure islands beyond the frozen waters of Blind Frost? The fabled golden cities of the New World?
savoring the moment. I can feel your excitement, your eagerness to explore.
Well, for once, the fate of the world doesn't rest on our shoulders. We might...
Do not be so quick. Oh, Tural may seem but a short sail away on a map. The vast seas between brim with peril. The treacherous waters of Shade's Triangle alone have claimed count. Even following the safe route plotted by Admiral Búthisvin herself, this will be no pleasure cruise.
Perhaps, but my voyage here was uneventful enough. Disappointingly so.
Either way, the two of you have first-hand experience, which will be of great comfort in the...
Aye, it's nothing.
All aboard! We're casting off!
It's time. And so does our ship cast off from the docks. We sail west, as Kettenram did some 80 years past, bound for the New World, known to her children as the continent of Tural.
Just wait, Papa. When this contest is said and done, it'll be your daughter who sits the throne. Me! Woklamat!
Smooth sailing so far?
Aye, so far. But this sea, she's a fickle one.
I'll take my rest while I can.
We left port what seems an age ago now, and we've seen naught but open water ahead. I knew Tural was far, but it's another thing to really know. Speaking of which, some of our fellow passengers have made this trip before. Several times, in fact. I was able to learn a few. Since we still have a long way to go, why not have a chat with them yourself? I'm sure you have questions of your own. Did you look out across these same waters?
We're in for a proper storm, it seems.
I don't know what you mean. I'm just feeling a little nauseous is all.
Isn't that what seasickness is?
Erenville, you were born in Tural, yes?
The Shatona, as my people are called, have settlements mainly in the north.
And your family?
I know nothing of my father. As for my...
We're in the teeth of a nomads! Reef that sail for the last snaps!
Oh dear.
Only elders have watch! This wind's too strong to take any sound! I'm going off the mast! We need help! Get him below decks first! Quickly! Before he's washed overboard!
Come, we should lend what aid we can.
I have not seen the ocean rage with such fury before or since. The heaving waves tossed our ship about like a toy, sending sailors tumbling. The dauntless Hak.Z, quick to the rescue, was almost lost to the sea herself. Meanwhile, our champion rushed to deploy the vessel's magical defenses, and thereby shield us from the lightning. What an extraordinary life he must lead to be able to operate such a device with practiced ease. Woklamat, too, threw herself into the rescue efforts, though one might have mistaken her for another soul in distress. By the time the unruly seas had calmed, our strength was all but spent, and we had yet to even glimpse the shores of Tural. In retrospect, of course, that battle against the storm would prove a fitting prelude to the coming contest for the throne.
Morning. Joining us for some... Seems my belly has settled along with the weather, but I'll... Ugh. Can't be much...
Seabirds. Land must be near. You need only hold out a while longer.
For a dark moment, I thought the ocean might swallow us. Glad to have my pessimism proven wrong.
In other good news, I examined the sailor who took a fall, and he's faring well.
Good news indeed. If all's well, then we needn't delay in launching the landing boat. Ships have to lower anchors some way from shore. Too close, and they risk having their underbellies ripped open by the reefs that crowd Tuliola's coasts. Come.
Thanks for bringing us all this way.
Ha! We only did what we were paid to do. Couldn't hardly set you adrift halfway. If anything, it should be us thanking you. As a matter of fact, everyone's starting to fancy your chances in the contest.
Then I better not let you down.
We're the last to board. If there's nothing left to say, then let's shove off, shall we?
Blue seas, clear skies, and boundless possibilities. I dare say our destination will soon be in sight.
Enjoying yourself for a change?
There, look, my friends. Behold the scene of our next great adventure.
At last, we are come to the land you call the New World. To my home, Tural.
Gods. I've seen cities with an impressive mix of cultures, but this is something else.
Is that a... No. I've never seen Vanu feathers in that color before.
You'll find much here you never knew existed. There may be a sea route now, but visitors to Tulihyolal are still few and far between. And as we don't build seafaring ships, only a handful of Turali ever venture abroad.
Mamulja sellswords mostly. Those willing to play the fool sail with Lominsan merchants to secure employment in Eorzea.
I suppose that makes us a rare sight in your...
Rare and currently undocumented. Were there some forms we...
Forms? Did you forget who you're traveling with?
You are outsiders? Visitors to Tural?
Ooh, nice looking armor.
We are.
Our nation is soon to hold a right of succession to choose its next Dawn servant. We will not abide interference from foreign agents seeking to foment trouble. What brings you to...
I can answer that. These fine people are allies in my succession bid.
Third promise. If you vouch for them, then all is well.
Please, accept our apologies.
No need to bow and scrape. That our soldiers are so diligent in their duty.
We'll be continuing our
Well, well. You really are a figure of authority here.
Are you suggesting I don't look the part? Anyway, first things first. I bid you welcome to Tulihyolal.
Look at that item first, man. Higher level material. Nice. have you stuff to craft? Oh boy.
Brook Evo! My companions must sample your heavenly tacos.
Right away, promise. And I'll pack them tight with my choicest feelings. Only the best for...
Did you hear the Silver Scales are back? Seems their overseas foray ended in disaster. More than half their warband is missing, including their leader.
Aye. And now keen to rebuild their broken reputations, the survivors seek the Golden City. A fool's errand. How many hopefuls have disappeared in search of that fable? They should count their lucky stars they came home alive at...
The legend of the Golden City is well known here, I take it.
It is, but as no one's ever seen it, many question if there is any truth to the tale. Like our skeptical Erinville.
I can't imagine the Dawn Servant would request a formal survey for a place that doesn't exist.
Now, to find a spot with a pleasant view to enjoy our crunch. Oh! Oh!
If it isn't the third promise.
Oh! No.
I don't know these ones. New salt.
Dredge from foreign waters is my guess, brother.
Of course, that's it. Wuklamat is so afraid of the coming contest.
Was there something you wanted, Bakul Jaja?
The third promise remembers us! Such an honor.
Glory on your name, brother.
And on yours, brother.
I know my rivals for the throne.
Another child...
No, this brute.
We have no ties to their farce of a... Unlike the sneeveling housecut, we are blessed siblings, the elevated chosen. We alone are fit to succeed Golul Jaja.
All peoples are equal in Tulihiola. Your heritage gives you no greater claim to the throne.
Shall we test that idea here and now? See if your strength is equal.
None of this has any bearing on the right of succession, correct? Best not waste your energies on pointless scuffles.
The kitten comes to the house cat's defense.
Pathetic. Since when was our nation overrun by mewling?
Listen to me, you.
A two-headed mamulja. I knew of them, but that's the first I've seen in the...
Some get it into their twin heads that they're destined to follow in my father's footsteps. So they travel to distant lands to hone their battlecraft. Those are likely the ones you've heard about.
Are there other two-headed claimants?
No, just Bakul Jaja. Even in Tural, his kind are far from common. The Mamulja people largely belong to one of three clans. The Hubigo, the Bunewa, and the Dopro. Every once in a great while, a two-headed offspring is born from a union between the brown-scaled Hubigo and the blue-scaled Bunewa. The child grows to possess immense strength, both physical and magical.
Blessed siblings indeed.
Forget them. Let's go and buy more tacos. I can think of nothing better to rid me of this bad taste in my mouth.
Enjoying your tour of the city, I trust. We've seen our share of notable sights and took a moment to rest. As such, we're ready to present ourselves at the palace for the rite of succession. Shall we meet?
The palace it is. I'll let Destiny calls. Perhaps we can return.
So it goes.
When did he get here?
More to the point, why is he?
Oh, you know this man? Whenever my father spots a promising opponent, he invites them to Sunperch to duel. Pressing duties or no.
So the one Estinian is crossing...
That would do, Spearman. I will receive my darling daughter. Know that you are the strongest I fought in many a moon, if not longer. It is the privilege of a life long lived to face such a formidable soul.
If it's formidable you want, then look no further than that man there.
I see you, warrior.
We had no idea you meant to visit Tural.
I've seen what lies east. This time I chose west.
And thus did our itinerant dragoon make his travel plans.
You witnessed our bout. If you thought he was fearsome, that was with one head dozing.
I'm not sure I understand.
The old man has been feeling his years. The uncovered side is the head of resolve, and age has only deepened his love for combat. But the head of reason, wiser of the two, sleeps more and more these days. As I understand it, the veil helps with the restoration of his magical energy.
Enough about me, Lamati. I want to hear of your adventure.
Lamachi.
A term of endearment. It's what my family calls me.
Oh. When last did we see you in the palace? Greetings, Solonesh.
It's Erenville now, Dawn Servant. I took the name while abroad, and have since grown accustomed to it.
Erenville, then. And these others? I assume are Lamati's recruited allies. Ha! Old-tempered steel. Yet as much as I'd enjoy testing their metal, the hour of the right is at hand. I will summon the other claimants at once.
Then I shall leave you to it. Good.
The claimants are assembled. The first promise, Zorolja. The second promise, Gona. The third promise, Uklamat. And lastly, the chosen of Mamuk, Bakul Jaja. You
You four will compete in the rite of succession, the outcome of which will decide who takes my place as Dawn. I am not the man I once was. My wiser half sleeps the days away, and it is time I yield my position. But mine is a torch that has never been passed. Tuliyollal is young, and so I look to thee always for the rite of succession, the means by which the autarch of... Only the two-headed were deemed fit for this contest. But the Tuliyollal I built is a nation of many peoples. Our leader needn't have two heads, nor be a Mamulja at all. So I gave the right of claimant, not only to the son I sired, but to my adopted children as... Yet the opportunity to rule was still not equal. That is why a recent tournament offered a place in the contest as the...
Now you have us to compete against. Though it seems the one-head was already too afraid to face us in the...
Our brother was in Shok Tural leading the Landsguard on a campaign to eradicate a Tural Vidral. Anyone with sense would know he was too busy for game.
Now for the part you've been waiting to triumph in the rite of succession, and thereby claim our nation's throne, you must travel the lands of Yogg-Tural and find the City of Gold.
If I may, Father.
Speak, God.
The Golden City is an ancient Turali legend, but after so many failed attempts to find it, If you would charge us with such a quest, are we then to assume you have proof of the city's existence?
I offer us proof, my unbroken word, for I have seen it with my...
The city's real. All those years.
This was before the founding of Tuliyollal. I traveled the lands of Tural with my companions, and we ended our journey at the gates to the Golden City. I mean to have you do the same, but in order to achieve victory proper, you'll need to bring them. You will retrace the path I walked to unite our peoples, step by step. Along the way, 7 chosen electors will be waiting to measure your... earn their keystones by performing the feats they act. Once you've fitted each of the 7 tablets with the keystone, you'll have the key to unlock the seal.
So the contest is in stages, none of which can be skipped by rushing to the ultimate
Exactly.
Martial tournaments, hunting festivals, and now this? You do so love your contests, Papa.
Were I a few years younger, I would have joined in myself, giving you a proper challenge. You may think the ride is tedious or nonsensical, or both. Let me have this final indulgence.
A waste of time. Just name Bakunja just a sec.
The rite of cessation begins now. I'll be watching your progress with great interest. And Clemens, remember to collect your You are one of Lamachi's allies.
I am Cryo Baldessian.
Ah.
It would seem you sent... Even so, we managed to determine the essence of it. A request to investigate the Golden City, addressed to my grandfather, Galuf. Included with the correspondence, a fairy tale and a piece of jewelry were enough to convince my grandfather to sail halfway across the world. So there is surely some greater mystery at work here. On behalf of the students, I've come to seek clarification on the matter. Have you any knowledge you might share with me?
No, nada. I have tasked the claimants with finding the Golden City. To fulfill your request would afford one of them an unfair advantage in the rite of cessation. But once the contest is decided, I plan to entrust the entire truth to my successor.
Very well. On my honor as a student of Balde. Thank you, Vic.
How about that? She's grown into a remarkable young woman. You should be proud, Galuf.
Too late to change your mind now, I suppose. But are you sure you wish to be part of this? Our third promise is not wont to take no for an answer. Though you may have agreed to help, I worry that you were swept up in her relentless enthusiasm. Or perhaps you've been lured by the glory of the Golden City. Either way, this contest for the throne, if you are second-guessing your decision, tell me now. This may be my last chance to help you.
Life is a series of journeys, my friend. But what's important is to be true to yourself as you walk it. Only then can we hope to be content when we arrive at the end of one and step forward into it.
Is that so? I will speak no more of it. As for my own involvement, I can no longer conduct myself as a mere guide, I think. Not...
Here they come!
It's Saralja!
Such a fearsome mien. Make no mistake, there goes Tuliola's mightiest warrior.
First promise, our village needs aid. The cold weather stunts our crops, and the children of our village go hungry. Once you ascend the throne, I beg of you, grant my people new lands, please!
Saralja.
Take heart, tiller of the soil. The resilient son, blood heir to the Dawn Servant, has heard your pleas.
Soralja, the first promise and commander of the Landsguard. Saralja, the palaceer. As he was so careful to remind the crowd, Soralja is indeed the natural child of Gulul Jaja.
And Resilient Son, is that another title? Like...
After a fashion. Common knowledge has it that two-headed Mamulja cannot sire children, yet Soralja was born all the same, with the head of Resolve's features and the head of Reason's scales. An extraordinary example of life's unyielding resilience.
And a warrior's reticence. He says little, but the way he moves... I know a hard...
He's a natural swordsman, a gift he inherited from his father. Some even, should he come to power, the first promise means to employ that martial prowess in the conquest of foreign lands. For this, he and his supporters have been labeled expansionists. This puts him in direct opposition to Wuklamat, who advocates for the preservation. You may recall that she spoke of a claimant who cannot be allowed to rule. That is Soralja.
Kryl?
The echo. Deep and unknowable, like an abyss. Yet at the same time, a roaring, unquenchable It was a trifle terrifying.
Second promise, you must bring us more marvelous conveniences, more dirigibles and trains and the like. We need you in charge to make trading easier.
The elders, they complain and complain about abandoning tradition. But we're not like them, afraid of everything foreign and new.
You have our wholehearted support. With your ingenuity and knowledge, you're sure to win the contest.
Forgive me, but the right of succession is barely begun. I will hear your petitions if and when I am named Dawn Servant. If you will excuse me.
Plain spoken, as always. That's our Kona. Practical to a fault.
Here we have Kona, the second promise, who spent time as a pupil at Charlian's own
Now that you mention it, I think I did see him in the halls once or twice. There was nothing to suggest he was Turali, much less.
That was by design. He forwent his usual garb and took an Eorzean name to avoid detention.
So it was Kona who introduced the dirigibles. And the railway too, given what we just heard.
In furtherance of his goal, to enrich Tuliolal with every bright notion he learned of in Charlian. He is the hope of those who prize innovation. As aloof as he may seem, Kona and Wuklamat actually get along rather well. They bicker and banter as only close siblings do.
How gracious of you all to cheer the less. Oh, come now. What are you afraid of? That my kind should reign is Mamulja tradition, and has been so. I'll brush aside your feeble contenders. And then you'll see who deserves your theater.
Well said, brother.
The Mamulja finally found peace in Tuliolal. A pity those fanatics are intent on keeping that tradition alive.
The chosen of Mamuk, Bakul Jaja, winner of the recent martial tournament, and the only claimant not of the Dawn's promise. His strength is undeniable, but you see how he is.
What would he do with the throne?
His policies and so forth. I doubt he's thought much beyond winning the contest itself. But one thing seems certain. If he does become Dawn Servant, he...
Sounds like another that cannot be allowed to rule.
We wish for one thing and one thing only, third promise. To abide together in harmony with our neighbors whom we love in this land we share. It is our way, the Turali way.
Galul Jaja built for us this peaceful nation, and we beg you to preserve it.
You have my word. I won't let your pleas...
Until Tuliolal was founded some 80 years ago, this continent was ravaged by war. The eldest among us remember that dark era, and they are Wuklamat's most ardent supporters.
Apologies. It's hard to get away. This is Namika, my childhood nursemaid. She's been like a mother to me. I told her it wasn't necessary, but she...
I place our precious third promise into you.
Did you know Wuklamat was taking part in the rite of succession?
Of the Dawn's promise? I thought it was only Zoralja and Kona. If she has any accomplishments to her name, I've yet to hear them.
Compared to the two Mamulja, she pales in martial prowess. And then there's Kona,
who's far and away the most educated of the bunch. I hate to say it, but it's hardly a competition.
It's fine. More than anyone, I understand how much better my brothers are than me.
Better? Woklamat. I have never thought of you as the... Your brothers may excel in their respective ways, but you boast qualities that both lack. A strength that is yours alone.
Thank you, Namika. Well, we ought to be on our way.
Yes, hurry along. I await word of your victory with...
Turali poets of yore sang of a mountain that would stand tall, even should all other lands sink beneath the sea. Indomitable and eternal, it arises from Urkopacha, the 100 peaks of time. Of all the beasts which crawl and fly, only the legendary Valigarmanda could hope to disturb the summit's serene majesty. Yet, with that flying calamity imprisoned by the Dawn Serpent, what great feat remains for those who would claim the throne?
So this is Urkopacha.
Mountains everywhere you look.
That one massive peak in particular has quite the presence.
That is Workor Sormor, the tallest mountain in Yogg-Tural. Its sheer height makes it an imposing climb. But there are...
Oh?
Where to begin?
Excuse me, but... but I should introduce myself. I am Bolnok. Oh.
Well met, Bolnok. We're on our way to what?
Truly. I'd asked the Pelu Pelu who sell me their wool to give me a tour. The head rancher and I shared a bottle of mezcal.
Mezcal? Is that...
It's an Urkopacha specialty.
Yes, and it must have... but listen to me, boring you with my tedious... Oh! Peace for Tural.
I gather from his tale we would be foolish to underestimate Pel...
Yes, they do more than run the markets in Tuliolal. Pelu Pelu peddlers can be found everywhere in Tural, traveling from place to place. They are effusive and engaging speakers, and many's the customer who's been talked into spending more than...
They won't find this.
Watchun Pelo's down the path! Off the main road! Don't...
It's right there!
Deducing the Dawnservant's elector was the first step of the feat. Too simple a task for...
Right. Zorolja.
I am told the head ledger, Tobli, is to be found here.
You have to guess which one of us is Tobli. That's part of the...
You're Tobli.
Without even asking a single question, without a amusing prologue out of the way, we can proceed to the action. Per the Dawnservant's instructions, I was free to devise any manner of feat. You must go forth.
While I've not had the...
Bring out the XIV!
Mas eu não colei. Esse é o mais